Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Chanukah. May the last few days of Chanukah bring lots of light into your life, your family, and through us, light into the world. On one hand, it's been a very difficult week. The first large Chanukah gathering, a hallmark of Chabad around the world, thousands of gatherings that are planned every Chanukah, was disrupted by the worst imaginable terror, where for 10 minutes, 2 animals gunned down and murdered 15 people, from a child of 10 to a Holocaust survivor of 87, 2 rabbis, the leader of the event, 38 injured, many critically, and need our prayers. And really not trying to gun down that event, but trying to disrupt Chanukah around the world. It's very interesting that in this week's Torah portion, which is called Miketz, talks about Joseph, who languished in prison for 12 years. And then Pharaoh calls him up because he heard he can interpret dreams. Miketz means at the end of. Joseph languished in prison. Even after he interpreted someone's dream and expected to be paid back by him, telling Pharaoh that there's someone languishing in prison that doesn't deserve to be in prison, and it didn't happen, he never gave up hope. And the Miketz is not just the fact that it was at the end of 12 years. Miketz was referring to, I believe, that Joseph always knew that Miketz, there is an end to this story. Though it seems like it's a tunnel without any exit, or no light at the end of the tunnel, he knew that there is an end to this story. The hardship, the languishing will have an end. Thank God that the Rebbe had raised our generation, moving away from the standard Jewish leadership, saying that keep Judaism in your home and silence and blend in with everyone in your regular activities, business, schools, all other parts of your life. And the Rebbe said, no, we're in a time when we have to be proud of who we are. We have to live openly and remember that we live in countries that support and encourage everyone to live based on their beliefs and based on who they are. And encourage making these outdoor gatherings. Encourage to do more mitzvahs. Encourage to add more light. And our only response is to constantly add light. And it's incredible how across the board, the response to this terrible event has not been to hide, but has actually been to come together more, stronger, because we know that this is a battle, an existential battle. Darkness against light. And as the story of Chanukah, it doesn't take a lot of people, but determined group who are backed by the truth and light will overcome all darkness. And this Chanukah had to become, because of this terrorist attack, it was probably one of the most celebrated Chanukas. We don't want to see any more of these types of attacks. We want to be more vigilant. We want to be more vocal, fight for our rights, demand for our rights. But most importantly, we internally are not sliding away into the basements of our past or the cellars and attics. But we are going to be more visible, stronger, and you included. And God willing, very soon we'll welcome the light of Mashiach. I want to share a story that came out of Australia. A friend of the wife of Rabbi Schlanger, Rachel, who wasn't at the event, but her kids were. And she tells the story how she ran when she heard what was going on. Thank God her kids were not touched. And she brings them home, and her children tell her, Ma, this menorah we have outside our house that's lit all the time, we gotta shut it off. We can't have it lit anymore. We don't want to be a target. Look what happened. If we show ourselves as Jews, we'll become the next target. And a mother listening to this plea from their child is conflicted, because she grew up always that we have to spread the light and be proud. But on the other hand, what does a mother not do for their children? They were really scared, so she shut it off. And didn't take a day, she gets a call from a Gentile neighbor, a Christian, that says, I want you to know, I was driving by your house, and my daughter was in the car. And my daughter points to me and says, Ma, look, the menorah's lights are off. And she started to cry. She said, how can it be that we live in a world where evil wins? Just because they did on Bondi Beach, all the Jews are going to go into hiding? It bothered her. She was crying. And the mother wanted to communicate that to her Jewish friend and neighbor. And immediately, this woman realized that there's a clear message. And she explained to her children that we don't stay safe by hiding. We stay safe, and our longevity as a people is only because we stood up. And I hope you're all doing exactly the same thing. And may God stand up for us. And no more events like this should happen anywhere. No one should die because they're a Jew. Let Mashiach come quickly. So the last few days of Chanukah, light the menorah, make the blessing, do it right, and get someone else to light the menorah. There are still plenty of people that don't have a menorah or candles. Be the one to help another candle be lit. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Chanukah. Rosh Chodesh Tov. This Shabbat we read 3 Torahs, very powerful, very special. And may it be a blessing for all of us. God bless you all. We love you all. Candlelight time, Montreal, 3:55 p.m.